Welcome to the roast of UFC 303, or that card that was supposed to be the Conor McGregor card but ended up being another Alex Pereira card. In a rematch to prove that the Book of Five Rings mentions everything but a left hook from a 6'4" Brazilian. Starting off with the main card, Ian, I had herpes in my debut. Garry takes on MVP in a Counter-Striker versus Counter-Striker fight, reminiscent of Hall versus Silva or Adesanya versus Silva. Or the 17 other examples I could provide for why this fight will be boring. Ian recently got a watch sponsorship from Timex, a watch Ian will use to find out exactly how long it takes to get off to the idea of his wife with another man. Ian Garry is the future of the UFC, the way Dippin' Dots is the future of ice cream, overhyped, cold, and enjoyed mostly by children. If Conor McGregor was Eminem, then the song Stan would be written about Ian Garry, and the only way Ian gets a belt is if they make this in gold. MVP, or Michael Venom Page, use your full name, it's way fucking cooler, has decided to make a title run at the prime age of 37 years old. He has a black belt in Kung Fu. Name one unorthodox fighter that doesn't. MVP looks to blitz into range against Ian over 3 rounds. In an attempt to hit Ian so hard, he finally comes to his senses, retires from the UFC, and writes a bestseller book on Amazon. That being said, it is never a good idea to rage against the machine, and the machine is Dana White. And if Dana wants Ian to be a superstar, we can't stop him. Ian wins a boring decision victory. The next fight on the card, Anthony Smith against Roman Dolidze, or the most delusional man in the UFC versus Roman Dolidze, is a great matchup for this card, giving fans a glimpse into why the light heavyweight division is one of the worst in the UFC in a fight that will prove Anthony's worst career loss is still to a 154-pound meth head. If you watch any of Anthony's fight analysis, you could come to the conclusion that by using math and statistics, he cannot be defeated on paper, but will be KO'd by Roman since he's from Georgia and won't understand that you're attacking my family means he should slow down and let Anthony catch up on the scorecards. Arguably, the fan fight of the night. Brian Ortega takes on Diego Lopes. Brian, officially crowned the Pete Davidson of the UFC, looks to submit Lopes and show that while Diego Lopes was being shoved into lockers on the local scene, Brian was busy getting his ass beat by Max Holloway in a 5-round main event. Typically watching Brian Ortega fight is like watching a nature documentary, lots of slow motion and the occasional anaconda. Since it is known Brian trains in slow motion so he can keep up with the speed of his own punches, I think that Brian will ultimately submit Lopes, confirming that a gigantic chest tattoo is undeniably the best base for a journeyman fighter. In the main event, Alex Pereira against Jiri Prochazka for the second time after a debatable stoppage. The first time is proof that a good stare-down can sell almost any fight. Jiri read the art of war and learned to confuse the enemy or something, from unorthodox training methods to just deciding his head doesn't exist. Jiri looks to finally unsheath his hand that he's hurt punching trees several times for no reason. I think Jiri will shoot a few takedowns or whatever is possible to practice on his local Corsican pine tree, but statistically speaking, fighters are more likely to change their hairstyle rather than their fight style against Alex. 9 fights and 70% takedown defense, which is only a 5% difference between wrestling Olympic gold medalist Henry Cejudo. Is it physics? Is it luck? Or was wrestling designed around human beings who don't look like Alex? Given this data and the fact Alex is the only fighter I've seen that looks like he's fighting with a neck brace on, I think Jiri wins on Saturday since Alex's only head movement will be turning his head to look at his corner after Jiri puts him on his back. While none of these picks are official, this channel is currently sporting 100% on UFC picks so far, so click the button to join the polls. I also have a new video next week. Here is the teaser. Even I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. Thank you for watching. As you know, if you have been following the channel for a while, I don't ask for engagement, because whenever I do, the video will end. But after much consideration, I have decided that idea is actually dumb as shit if I want to grow, and because I work hard on these videos, the new plan is